Okay, welcome to ECI Regional Planning District Board meeting for Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. I'm Randy Bennett, ECI Board President, and we'll start off with introductions. Billy first.
I'm Billy Keister, and I am the spring assistant for Bill and Shay.
Jay Thomas, I'm the grant administrator. Hello, everybody. I'm the project manager for the Safe Streets and Roads for All Federal Grant for ECI. I'm Ken Hudson with the director for the
I'm Tracy Lutton with the Economic Development Alliance of Muncie and Delaware County.
Today we see the community developer of the county, this is going to be a message of vendors.
I'm Spencer Rutherford. I'm representing the town of York County.
Ron Stewart, grant administrator.
In-house regional council. John Banners, ECI International Development.
Bill Walden, director of ECI Regional Planning District. On the two, Brandon.
Stephen Brand, Delaware County Commissioner.
Mayor.
Dan Ridenauer, Mayor of Muncie.
Commissioner Aker.
Chad Aker, J County Commissioner.
Megan. Megan, you there? You guys stepped away or some music. Lorenzo, would you like to introduce yourself?
Lorenzo G. Play. I'm a consultant with SME.
I think that's for recording the notes.
That's just recording. Okay. You're good to go. Roll call's good. We have a quorum. We have 12, so we do have a quorum. I need an approval for motion to approve the meeting minutes of May 20, 2025. So you have the motion by Ross. Was that a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye.
Aye.
Please sign. Vice carried. All right, on to the treasurer's report. Eileen is out, do some other stuff, so I'll be here. The first one is the balance sheet that you'll see there as of June 30th, 2025. Assets and everything coming in, we're setting at $188,240.25 on the balance sheet. The profit and loss by class, January 1 through 30/30, you'll see total expenses was $394,202. Net income was $48,572.30. We've got a lot of grants out there coming in that we've got money to collect and it started. Sorry. Oh, sorry, $48,572.70 was the net for the first quarters or first half of the year. So we would entertain a motion to approve those. Go ahead, motion to approve the budget. Treasurer's report, June 30th.
Make a motion.
Motion by Spencer, second by. Second by Mr. Brand. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Ken Hudson presentation. Why don't you? Why does it go?
Can everybody hear me? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna read a little biography on Ken Hudson so you know a little bit about him before he does a presentation. Ken Hudson grew up in Michigan City, Indiana, moved to Muncie in January of 2000. Raised by a handicapped single mother, Ken, along with his three siblings, were raised in poverty due to his mother's being back. Ken developed a desire to support those who experience economic hardships and experience life in the vacuum of missed opportunity, along with a passion of entrepreneurship. Raised by a single handicapped parent, I learned the value and benefit of the family and compassion for others. He moved to Muncie to start life with his new wife Sylvia in 2000, at Ball State University. And Ken's mission, it says, the mission of the Whiteley Community Council is to serve and be a voice for the community. This is achieved by engaging residents and allies in a collaborative manner to achieve a list of community agreed upon objectives. As director, Ken leads in operational aspects of the Whiteley Community Council, including leading neighborhood development committees that target improvement in education, community safety, and health and wellness. Ken is in his 8th year as an executive director with the Whiteley Community Council. Now I'd like to introduce Ken Hudson.
Put this stuff back here somewhere.
Okay,
So you know when you're taking that Toradol, you can't take ibuprofen or anything.
yeah.
While Ken's getting ready, I had a total report. Yeah. There you go. Somebody said, "No, you're doing that." Michelle didn't hear
What?
that. Never mind.
Can you hear it?
So, as said, my name is Ken. Can you guys hear me? Just fine.
Yes.
All right, I won't take a lot of your time. Some of you may know me and some of you may not. I'm the director for the Whiteley Community Council. I'm the executive director. I've been in that position for going on, I'm rounding my 8th year here, starting my 9th. My direction from the neighborhood is to bring the neighborhood up to speed with all their initiatives, basically, to expand what they're doing, to galvanize the community, to build relationships, bring resources in, pretty much everything that one needs to do in the neighborhood when it comes to building, revitalizing, building connections, making new relationships, bringing in resources, creating programs, managing properties, all of that, just sticking under this hat right here. Okay, so, but what I want to talk to you a little bit about today is a redevelopment project that the neighborhood association is embarking on. Now, we've been on this road for a good little while now. So the building that you see here, I'm not going to leave it here because the video may start playing and I don't really want the video to play. But if you want to see the videos, please go to our Facebook page or our website at whiteleycc.org. Okay, whiteleycc.org. And you'll see these videos, you'll see our website, you'll see a number of things. But this is an overhead shot of the property. This doesn't show the whole property. The entire property is just under 5 acres. And so in 2018, I was hired in 2017, but my first task was to purchase this building. And we purchased the building in February of 2018. Since that time, we've had to do some environmental due diligence. The building is a brownfield redevelopment. Thankfully, we've rode that roller coaster all the way to now. And we have our no further action letter from IDEM, putting the environmental contamination behind us. So I'm gonna fly through a lot of, I'm not gonna show you all this. That'll take up too much of my time. And I'm not gonna spend a lot of time educating you or informing you about the neighborhood association. It's been a practicing nonprofit for just about 30, or for a little more than 30 years. and a neighborhood association for almost 60 years. One of the oldest neighborhood associations in the city of Muncie. We get the title of being very organized. I don't like to toot those horns, but a lot of people do. We are an organized, a very organized neighborhood association with advocates that have been in the neighborhood for over 40 and 50 years. So the goal of the neighborhood redevelopment is to bring resources to the east side, where the resources currently don't exist. Currently, the east side is identified as multiple different deserts. There's a resource desert, which points to, well, let me start back at providers. There's a provider desert there, but we know that Delaware County itself is a provider desert, meaning there is a lack of medical providers to adequately treat our communities. That's basically what that means. Now, in saying that, on the east side, there's 0 providers, no providers whatsoever on the east side. It's a food desert. There's no banking. There's limited banking. Let me put it that way. There's limited banking, and there's very limited fresh food. I manage the property, basically all of our properties. This property here, I cut the grass. Well, I used to. I don't anymore. I used to cut that grass every 2 weeks. And when I cut the grass, I would see all the snack wrappers and all the soda pop bottles from the Marathon gas station right on the corner, where residents, because you didn't have access to healthy food, they would just walk down the street to the gas station, buy junk food, and leave all the wrappers, a trail of wrappers, back to their home. The same thing happened with the dollar store that's at the top of the neighborhood, dividing Morningside and Whitewood. I've already mentioned that the neighborhood in the area is a provider desert. Well, we plan to change that with our redevelopment. This redevelopment is a long time in the making, and we have commitments from Open Door Health Services to move into the space when we build out the space. I'm not going to go into information on the slide. These are some of the things that our residents are facing. And because of poverty, those things are multiplied. Cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, maternal and infant health rates drop drastically in poverty neighborhoods. They drop even more when you're dealing with poverty inside of an predominantly African-American neighborhood, which Whiteley is, but not as much as people may think. Whiteley used to be 75% African-American. It's now only 56% African-American. It used to be 11% Caucasian. It is now 36% Caucasian. And then you fill in the gaps with all the rest. There's Pacific Islanders, there's Latinos, and so on and so forth. But it's changed quite a bit. But in that time where it changed, the median household income fell by almost $2,000. So it went from 17,100 and something down to 15,000, I think 229 or 529, something like that. Okay, here's some of those statistics that I've talked about. Whiteley is Census Tract 12. Okay, Census Tract 12 is kind of unique to the other census tracts. When you look at the map of Whiteley, right here, this is the neighborhood. Except this is McCullough Park. The neighborhood largest park sits within the neighborhood boundaries. Okay, the city's largest park sits within the neighborhood boundaries. This is, we call this area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's how we identify our neighborhood. We broke it up so we can organize it better. Okay, and then within that structure, we have area leaders and block captains that we try to identify to help us do more important work and reach residents better within the community and communicate better. Okay, but Census Tract 12 stretches out just a little bit out this way and a little bit out this way. This section that it comes out of the neighborhood is commercial land, commercial property. And this section is rural property over here where it comes out of the neighborhood. So 99% of the residents in Census Tract 12 live in White. So you can take Census Tract 12 and I can tell you everything that's going on in the neighborhood, if the data is accurate. You can't do that with any other neighborhood in the city that I'm aware of, at least. Census Tract 12 population is just about 3,000. 20 is just about 5,000. 28 is 2,000. there's another census tract on here that's not, it's just about 2,000 people. And I think it's let me see, I think it's 13 that I'm thinking of. But this location right here, this is where the building sits. And all those neighborhoods surround the building. It's kind of like ground zero. Now, right above Whiteley is Morningside. We cannot gather data on Morningside easily. The reason being is because Census Tract 20, which is Morningside, wraps completely around the Whiteley neighborhood and picks up the South Side neighborhoods and some of the South Central neighborhoods and industry and stuff like that. It picks up a piece of them. It wraps around Whiteley like a Pac-Man. So the data is skewed. Okay, we believe that Morningside is in some cases have higher rates of poverty than Whiteley. Whiteley have poverty rates of 47%. The city is lower than that in general, city of Muncie. So there's a concentration of poverty in Whiteley and in Morningside that this building redevelopment plans to address. Okay. So in the sense of, for interest of time, I'm gonna move a little quicker through some of these slides. Now, if you think, well, why are they building a building? Why are they redeveloping this space? The neighborhood needs it, the children need it, the adults need it, and the neighborhoods around it. When we talk about fighting poverty, we have to look at it from a holistic perspective. Okay, and this grid right here gives you those measurements and points of contact where this building redevelopment will actually address. So we have employment, economic stability, where employment issues are a problem. Well, the gentleman in the office in the front of this building is committed to doing small business support inside of our building. Income barriers, expenses, debt, medical bills. I talked about Open Door Health Service Center, building not a walk-in clinic, but an actual center where they will have full-time staff and full-time doctors, not the doctors that you see on 29th Street where you walk in, you have a headache, you see a doctor, you get looked at, you walk out, and you never see that doctor again. We're looking to have providers on the east side through Open Door that will serve the community there full-time. Okay. And they'll be doing behavioral health from that location as well. Okay, neighborhood and physical environment is an issue. Housing is top of the list there. Well, Pathstone, some of you are familiar with Pathstone's Corporation. They do housing redevelopment in low-income areas, but they also have financial literacy programs and credit repair programs. They're looking to be in the building. Some others that are looking to be in the building outside of the Whiteley Community Council is Ball State University is looking to be in the building. The health department has awarded us a 3-year lease when the building is up. So they will be in the building, and what the health department will do is they will lease a space. They'll perform their services to the community from our location. And when they're not performing their services, they'll lend that space to other nonprofits who serve the community and can bring things in that the community is missing. Okay, so what we're building is a holistic approach to service and a holistic approach to attacking poverty. We will do educational programs. We have a food pantry that'll go into that space. We have the health and wellness committee, education committee, and the community safety committee that will operate from that space. And then other service providers will come in because we'll have the space for it. Causes of poverty. I'm going to skip through this because I just showed you the last screen, and I want to get to some of the fun stuff. That's the property there. I'm on time.
Okay.
2-3 minutes.
Okay.
They can't see it. They're missing the whole show.
The ones online, I just got a text from the ones online.
I was gonna ask.
I thought they were, I apologize. When you hit share, I thought it went up there.
But my pastor said, show up to church in person. Okay? Because you're gonna miss something. If you watch church from Zoom or from, because we live streamed during COVID, but you gotta show up to church in person now. What are you trying to, you can escape. You need to share the screen, All right, now
Hey, you could also post the slideshow, like in this tabs, you said that passing.
yes. Okay, I'll let Michelle take care of that later. And you get back to me. Now, see, I gotta start all over. How we looking on there?
You're good.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna fly through some of these slides, because I know we're. Sorry, guys, online, you didn't get a chance to see some of these slides I had up. I'll quickly let you breeze through with your eyeballs some of these. I won't go over it again. But I've talked about the healthcare disparities of low-income communities here and how they're higher in low-income communities. I showed some data here where the median household is $15,719. I did not mention that individuals who live alone, their median household income is only $11,828. And Whiteley has a high number of senior citizens. Many of those senior citizens are living in poverty. This new redevelopment is smack dab in the middle of what we will call a walkable distance from residents. You don't have to catch a bus. You don't have to carpool. We have people right now who walk to our pantry, or we would rather than not, because it's a drive-through, but they walk right to the pantry with a basket and get served. Because our pantry right now is across the street from this building. Okay. Moving right along. I wanted to get to
The importance of having a home.
this video. Please go online and view it. There's two videos. You'll see a lot of different folks in this video. Ownership promoting the property.
The importance of having those types of programs in one location,
Just a little bit.
mind you that residents can actually walk to and not have to get a ride or get on the bus is vital to the health and well-being of residents in the community.
Community hub for Whiteley Community Council is going to be a major asset for families on the east side of Muncie. Everything that you could possibly need really is in a one-stop shop. So being able to stop in to ask questions about prenatal care all the way through job opportunities, it's really going to be a game changer for a lot of families in the community.
Whiteley has the reputation for lots of challenges, but they have very high incidence of health conditions, particularly in the cardiovascular realm. They have a much higher incidence of heart disease, stroke, even vision, probably related to heart disease and diabetes, compared to the rest of the community. And our hope is that having a health center close by will help to address a lot of those issues.
One of the goals that we have with this redevelopment project is to make sure that we have space for teens. And in that aspect, I'm specifically referring to junior high and high school age students. And when you come into Whiteley, you see the sign saying Whiteley, education first community. And that's just not the slogan, that's the truth. We really will try to make sure.
Okay, I'm gonna, in the interest of time, I'm gonna stop there and move through these slides. These are just slides of the current property location, okay? It's at 1208 East Centennial Avenue on a corner of MLK and Centennial. The Bowden Radiator Shop has the corner position. We're right next to the Bowden Radiator Shop, okay? Quickly, just some before and afters. The building is in need of repair. Obviously, we've been holding on to it since 2018. It was vacant before that. It used to be Muncie Reclamations in the 60s and 70s. And then it became a place where the Princeton family sold roofing supplies and shingles and all those types of things, flooring and all those. And then the new Centennial site, some of the images look like this here. Okay, our goal is to transform the site into a multi-purpose, multi-use site. We don't want to be a one-trick pony. So our goal is to have multiple uses for everything you see. Multiple uses for even the parking lot, okay? You can view this online. That's the floor plan. Primark Construction has done the floor plan. Taylor Architects, we've been working with them to do the floor plan. This is an overall site plan. The light green is what we own. The dark green is what we do not own, okay? Back in the corner, you'll see a pond. That's not because we want water. It's because we need to manage stormwater runoff. But we don't want a mud pit. So why not beautify it, since it has to be there? So in this top corner, you'll see space, this space here, that is the area for a sound stage, where residents will be able to come and enjoy music, poetry readings, gatherings of all types. Okay, this is the site being used as a farmer's market. Here we're bringing in that fresh fruits and vegetables that we said people don't have access to. Okay. Overhead roof off view. I'm not going to stay here long because it's too much detail. I don't want to lose you in that. But this is, you can view this online. It's a roof off version of the building itself. And these are accurate floor plans. Now, the art may not be accurate, that may change, but the floor plans are accurate. Okay. This is the top off view of the boardroom and the reception area. Same area. Same area. So we have a smoothie bar in this building. The goal of the smoothie bar is to create a destination location, not just for adults, but also for our teenagers and college students. Okay. One of our goals is to get people in the building. Boardroom. Open door. Open door again. Open door again. Tenant space. We'll be leasing space to other nonprofit organizations and other satellite programs. Some space will be free. Programming space, some of that will be free to the community, as well as to organizations that just want to do a satellite program. Community meeting space. We have 2 classrooms that double as meeting rooms. This is the view of a youthful looking one, something that caters to elementary age or high school age. This is the same one catering to a little bit older audience. This is the larger. Northwest Bank has committed to adopting our classroom space. So they will be giving the computers, the chairs, the technology, and software for financial literacy training and credit repair. Kitchen and pantry space. Some of you may remember we actually, earlier this year, we did a crowdfunding campaign that targeted our pantry and kitchen space. Not only do we have a pantry room here, but we also have a commercial kitchen that will allow new entrepreneurs to cater to the community and the business that they're wanting to use that for. It also allows us to cook and do things and then serve the community from that location. Here is the pantry in action. That's Scott telling me to hurry up. That's here is again the pantry in action, and this is the pantry room they use as a wedding venue. Again, the goal is to have multiple purpose for every space we have. Same building, same room, I mean, wedding venue, tenant space. Again, this is the further end of the building where there's more tenant space. There's a hallway with storage space, workrooms. We're designing a podcast room and recording studio for our teams. Again, we want to make a play toward our youth. We just don't want adults showing up in the building. We want to do mentoring things and all types of things for our youth. This gives us the ability to create programs, partner with Ball State University, Ivy Tech, and whoever else. That's our recording studio there. Community venue and STEM learning center. This is what you may notice as a pole barn right now on the property. So this space gives us the opportunity to have indoor-outdoor community venue space. But in the summer months, it gives us the opportunity to bring our kids to this space and transform it into a STEM learning camp. It would also double as a mentoring center. You could mentor from this location. There's just so much possibility. This is the sound stage. This is the sound stage in use. Okay, you see here, we have a barbecue pit station. And then a set of picnic tables. Now, we're not promising curvy picnic tables. Our graphic designer is a bit of an artist. But we are looking to put a barbecue pit station in. The goal, again, is to alleviate the stress of families having to cater in or having to bring all the cooked food in or whatever the case may be. Bring what you have cook it here, serve it here. That's the overhead view, and that's it. And then I'll leave that for if there's any questions. Let me tell you how we've done fundraising. So the initial estimate for this property redevelopment is $4.5 million. We've raised just over $3.8 million. Our gap is about $675,000. This is where I passed the bucket, and you all put a donation.
Going to church.
So we're moving in the right direction. Our goal is to close that gap as fast as we can. There may be a little bit more fundraising after the fact, but we wanted to close that gap. We're not going to wait till we have every dollar in the bank before we put the shovels in the ground. Once we get within approximately 250,000 or so, we're going to look to sign contracts and get this moving. My purpose today is to inform you about the project. Also, to ask you to think about how you can aid this project. What can you do to help this project happen? That's the big thing here today. So yes, you have a question, sir?
And I want to comment on that. Definitely go to neighborhood meetings. Attend neighborhood meetings and they will and think what the clients want.
Yes, I think you're referring to do we have neighborhood meetings where we share this information? We've done projects with the EPA where they've actually come to Muncie, all the way from Maine and Atlanta, and I think South Dakota. They've come all the way to Muncie to do community-wide sessions with our community to find out what do you want, not just here, but what about the next phase of the redevelopment? Because as I said, we have just about 5 acres. So what I don't have here is what a second phase would look like, and what we hope to do in the future is not actually put housing in, because the community actually said that we'd rather have a center that serves our youth. That's what they said they would rather have. So, God willing, if we're able to do that, we'll do that. Hopefully with plenty of partners. But is there any questions that I can answer for anyone? Yes.
Is Antioch Church within the police station?
Yes. Yes, they are. We're planning on asking churches to give. Some of them have already. We're planning on asking businesses to give. Some have. And then residents, just local folks, we give them opportunity with our crowdfunding campaign. And we've reached out to funders, and they've been very receptive of this project. The George and Francis Ball Foundation is holding us up as one of the city's hubs. They're looking to create 3 hubs in Muncie. The Ross Center, the Urban Light 812 area, and our space, the Resource Center, Centennial Resource Center. That may not be its name when it all is said and done. Centennial Resource Center over on the east side, where those 3 locations can collaborate to boost the community. But in order to do that, we have to achieve this.
How do you do crowdfunding? Just so make sure.
We did our crowdfunding through IHCDA. Yes, Patronicity has a platform that allows you have to tell them what you want to raise, and then you have to try to raise it in, I think it's 60 days, maybe 90. The no gift can be over $10,000, no single gift for that.
When do you estimate this being open?
As soon as the fundraising is complete. It's approximately 9 to 12 months of construction. So if we're able to put shovels in the ground this fall or this winter, or maybe even by spring, when the ground starts to thaw, you can count on about 12 months of construction and then a grand opening. Tenants here will pay rent. That is how the property will be sustained. We have very little debt for the organization and for the property, right? Almost none. I'm done. I don't want to hold up the meeting anymore. Thank you for allowing me to come.
No problem. Yeah, and we also, Michelle has sent everything out to the full board and all the presentations that Kim put in, also just by it. Please feel free to reach out to him or one of us to make contact with you. All right. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Good job. Good business, Bill. New business. First item up is the SEDS. If you've all got notices, the comprehensive economic development strategy was completed. It has been out now for the 30 days to review. All of those have come in. I meet with Deanna Bruce Porter from Purdue Wednesday. We're gonna have a conversation to go over the last comments to put in the appendix. That's why you see on right behind that special meeting, 8:19. It was at 11. I need to move that to 1:30. Michelle will be making phone calls. We have to wait until the appendix is done, but I would like to hold a special meeting and get this done. EDA wants a copy of this to get it in, because if you remember when we started down this journey, this is our fourth one. At the backside of this, we're moving forward with the EDD designation, Economic Development District, for the region. So it's important to get this completed and finished up. So if you have any comments, get those into me. We will get those done by Wednesday, and then we will get it out. Michelle will call the meeting on the 19th. Will last about 30 to 45 minutes. Annie will be going over the full report, going through it, answering questions, and then we'll go into a vote for adoption. So like I said, we will reach out to you. If you can attend, then I would ask you to sign the proxy over. If you have some of you have 2 or 3 members from your area. So if you can attend, then please sign your proxy over to the one of your other members. Next item up is the EPA grant 2025 and 2026. As you all know, we were not awarded this year. It was submitted last year for another assessment grant. Phase 1, phase 2, the cleanup assessment. That's the area-wide assessment. We went to the Brownfields conference last week. We found out in that meeting, we lost by 2 points out of 150. They are very much encouraging for us to put the grant back in, which we've already started. It is already being written. Very little tweaks to it. It has to go along with exactly what we did last year. The conversation was we needed to tie more of the health benefits and the areas of concern in the low to moderate income area, those targeted areas of Whiteley, Industry, and McKinley neighborhoods. We are already pulling that data together to add it to the grant. So we will have it done in plenty of time to get it submitted in October, with probably March, April, before we get notification on that grant. Also, at the same time, running simultaneously, because both of them are out of the infrastructure grant at the federal level, which is funded through 2026, the revolving loan fund for EPA. We had a sidebar meeting with our project manager, and we talked to SME, our environmentalist. We are going to move forward with a revolving loan fund with EPA. That's an initial investment of $1 billion to do help bridge the gap for developers to loan money out to take care of contaminated areas. That money is also replenished through that infrastructure grant. We're up to $20 billion, which you show that you can responsibly loan, retrieve. There is forgivable sides on that with municipalities and non-for-profits, but the committees will have to be set up. Attorney has to be present. There has to be a financing committee that will approve the loans and the interest rates. So all of those steps now we are starting to go through, lay the format, and we will be having the meetings between now and about May of 2026 before application is going in. So watch and look for those emails and announcements. If you'd like to be part of that, you'd like to dig a little bit deeper into it, we encourage your participation. We'd love to have you at the table. I think this is a benefit for the region across the board. This won't be area specific. It would be for the entire region, all 4 counties.
Did you say when that application is due, Bill?
It's due, RFL is due in 2026. I believe it's October of 26 it goes in. It will be the last funding out of this infrastructure bill before they go into new funding at the federal level. But this will get in under the current one that's already been awarded. Best workshops, Jacob, would you like to handle that?
Yeah, absolutely. So as of today, we've had 3 of the 6 best workshops, we've had 2 ranked on the J so far. Chad has been really good, giving us expertise in small businesses, that's definitely impacted them for sure. The next workshop is September 11th at 10 a.m. West J. Community Center in Dunkirk, and we will have 2 more involved in November at Breaking Innovation and sure this will be good.
Might as well keep on rolling with the grant workshop.
Yeah, so me and Anna will be hosting grant workshops that fall, the first one October 17th, second will be November 7th. So 2 different 2-day courses, they're all-day courses, lunch will be provided. It's from 8 to 4, we charge $225 per person. It is a gas city pack, our center that they just recently constructed. The goal is to teach community members how to research, write, and list for a grant. Just have 7 partner exercises along the grant writing workbook that follows each step individually for most grant applications. So like I mentioned, it's a 2-day workshop. Between the days, we ask the HPDs to finalize the proposals. Having them ready to be as going into the second day to the administration side. So the first day, we have a data, and the second day, say, okay, now you've got fun with that one. So we have actually, me and Anna finalized the workbook, which is built off of the actual. It's a workbook side, and look at the building blocks of grant writing side, and that is just like the almost like the hard manual that goes through the workbook, the actual exercises. Yeah, we have those finalized, and we are now just kind of waiting for the workshop and practice for the presentation. We're excited.
2 comments on that, I'd like to back up just a little bit. One of the best workshops, just so you know, that comes out of the USDA funding that we get. We are now currently on our 6th USDA grant called Best Business Entrepreneur Services and Technical Assistance. So those costs are covered 100% through all 4 counties in the region. So please, if you have any interest, we do have some funds available. We're more than happy to come in and use TED, the Kaufman series, and work in any capacity within your neighborhoods or your cities to address the problems and concerns that are going on with you business entrepreneurs. So please reach out on that. The grant writing workshops, I just like to give a shout out to grant writing workshops. That is Ball Brothers Foundation grant that we received to put those on and goes through with the grant writing. Ball Brothers has been very cooperative and very nice with their money. That puts 2 new grant writers that we are going and which I now will give you that over to Miss Anna King Cross, who is one of those grant writers and heading that up. She gives you kind of an idea of where we are heading and what we've been working on in this room. Anna?
Yes, so it's been very rewarding. So to kind of start off with what we have been working on, the front is on the workload. Delta Parks, then Trina specifically over there for a bathroom construction. One of their parks is needed. It's been needed for a while. So we've been working with Norfolk Southern Corporate Giving. We have a grant that will be submitted there on September 1st. I just finalized the draft last week. So I'll bring it to this meeting and review it one more time for the final submission. And then Salem Fire Department has reached out as well. They need life pack and necessary equipment. So they've reached out, they have a budget in mind, so we've been looking into that. Firehouse Subs is actually a great program for them, so that's what we're looking into. That grant proposal will be drafted here soon. They need them by January, so we're hoping they have an application window open in November. So we're hoping to submit by November, have up to some funding secured in January for that. We have financial literacy. Jacob actually headed that project, which is really exciting. That's from 3 Rivers, so hopefully that will provide funding for 1 financial literacy class to be hosted in Delaware County that was hosted by ECI. Tech Major has offered to use this site for the hosting. So that's something that's in the works. The internship program, we have submitted a grant proposal through the Delaware County Community Foundation to help fund our interns to just provide more on-site help and support in this area. And then for events, we have quite a few events going on too that we're all excited about. We have the trunk or treat that's being hosted here for Halloween, just something for the kids, something that gives back and a little fun. And then we have a clothing drive as well that we are organizing throughout the winter months that will be donated through a nonprofit here in the community. And then we have had a lot of community outreach too this month, and this whole summer, we've really been working a lot in the region. So Ball Brothers, they have also helped us tremendously with, in collaboration with the Boys and Girls Club. They have agreed and decided to fund new basketball goals for the Madison Street area. And then we have been building our relationship with Minnetrista. They have offered and helped us with the SS4A outreach support that we've had to do, but then they've also helped support just different local projects we've had, and then they have dedicated support going forward with whatever programs and projects they think that they would have wanted. We have been awarded from the Indiana Arts Commission a Portland mural. We were awarded $4,000 for that, so that has gotten us to partial funding for that project in specific. So there's been a lot of wins. I know, I'm sorry, I kind of went a little fast on that. That's how my brain works. Phil knows that, sorry. But it is, we have a lot on our plate. We have a lot going on. We've had some wins. We've had some good feedback on what we need to do next time. So I'm hoping that in the next few months, we'll have even more wins to continue.
Question, I just want to understand how it works. So you identify an organization or you need, they think you, and you prepare the grant for them? Okay,
Yeah.
you lend your expertise, so.
Yeah.
So like Boys and Girls Club, for example, so you all prepare the grant for them, the Ball Brothers coming. Okay.
We help them out. We're putting with Ball Brothers, we've had 2 or 3 grants where we have taken on grant writing skills. We work with all states, working on narratives. Good group, 6 of them, I think, collaborate and go back and forth. We don't use AI. I'm not saying it hasn't been touched, but we come up with our narrative and tailor to the grant. And then they bounce it off of 6 of us. We work it every 2 weeks. We meet and we rearrange the drafts and we go over it. We put it in. And then win or lose, usually just on the loss, wins are great. On the loss, we do a debrief with whoever we submit the grant to. What is it that we didn't have in our grant? Where is it that we need to improve in the grant as far as submissions or any grants going forward?
And that's, I can touch on it just a little bit more, and that's why these workshops are so important. We can only take on so much of a workload. And there are so many opportunities that sometimes don't fall within our niche or our caveats, or we just don't have the capacity to do it. So that's why the grant writing workshops are such a big cornerstone for us, is because it helps fill those gaps that we ourselves cannot. And those are quarterly programs that we put on ourselves as well.
I'm new to the board, so.
No, actually just, and like,
It's changed a little bit back in the day, and it's just trying to find more ways to give more people in the community what the needs are, and then we find the low hanging fruit. I mean, we don't go, we have to hit $500,000, but we like the 30, 40, 100,000, somewhere in that range, and we submit all over. We're not trying to pound one organization for funding in different areas. We look at the area that needs concern and use those foundations, be it in Delaware, Blackford, Jay, we go to those foundations and go across those lines.
and if you are, I'd like to touch on the internship program, just so that it's explained a little bit. That's a program ECI is really proud of. We reach out to Taylor University, Ball State, Ivy Tech, and we recruit interns through that program. We pay $15 an hour and mileage. And that helps give them real world training into what the program is. But it also helps fill the gaps that we can't always do ourselves too. So they're learning, they're growing, we're helping our communities, and then hopefully that they're staying in the community too, because they can help locate jobs in the area. So not only are they learning their skills, but they're keeping them here in the area as well. So we do have a lot of grants in for our internship program, it's a pretty big us. So just to kind of break it down a little bit to it. That's helpful. Yeah, of course.
Okay, moving on, old business. First up is the federal grant updates. USDA, like I said, we're on our 6th one, but I think we have about $30,000 left, right around there, give or take. So we've got more, we've got the workshop scheduled, as Jacob had told you. US Best Grant 7 has been submitted. I have filled out final paperwork, but USD has not had their funding passed down from the federal government as of yet. They're still going through the deal. We are in the queue and we are waiting. We may have another one possible. I think we stand a real good chance for that one to be funded as well. We've done tremendous work with the Best Grant as far as the workshops. Not only that, INOX was one of the programs coming in on the international side, so it's been used for large. and mostly the smaller ones, but it can be tailored to either side of it. Any support that a new business and new entrepreneur needs, we have the ability to provide some of the education and things that they would need, 100% free of charge, of everything picked up by ECI. So we'll continue with that. Hope you hear something on Best Grant 7 and that it gets funded. It's a $100,000 grant. We don't know what will come in yet, but we're hoping fingers are crossed on this one. EPA, I talked earlier at the top, but we are currently still have one EPA grant. We had it was a 3-year grant. We got done in right at a little over 2 years. There's $5,000 left of the $500,000 that we were awarded. That last 5,000, we're kind of hanging there. We're working a project with the city of Muncie, and we're teamed up. When they need a phase 2, and it's going to be a little bit more than that. We're going to put that, and they're paying the difference. The community development side of it is paying the difference to get that out. So what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is, this is the first time that we've had 1.7 million. We're going to exhaust this grant down to the last dime. There won't be a penny left. We met with Matt at the Brownfields conference. He was really pleased with the timing, how we got everything out. Our quarterly reports have been on time, the narrative, what the development's been from what we've cleared from the phase 1s and the phase 2s has been very nice. We're approaching that $75 million mark, first with the 500,000 we use to leverage that and open up those grounds for possible development. EDA, that's the sets. We're finishing up there. Basically, it's all been done. Once the adoption is done and we get through, like I said, we will move forward on the EDD. But the sets is really 100% done. We got to finish the appendix and then get it in front of you guys for the full board for a final adoption. And again, on the 19th at 1:30, Michelle will be making calls. Please give us 45 minutes of your time. This is important for the next 5 years. This is the set of the look. And this, if you've had a chance, or if you haven't had a chance, please look at the set. This is different than what has ever been done in ECI. Usually it was just projects that elected officials in 4 counties wanted to move forward on. And that was good with EDA. We dug deeper into this one. This is the clusters inside all 4 county regions, in all 4 quadrants. What is declining, what is dormant, what is starting to rise, and what are your stars? Where is the manpower needed, and where is the jobs that are coming in? This is a deep dive into all areas of that. So please, this is something that I really find interesting. I think it's a better roadmap than just picking out projects from elected leaders. And I'm one in a small town just like Randy. Just because you're elected don't mean you get this data help. You're working on the targeted areas. That I think this is something that can be collaborating with yours. It shows what's in Delaware County or any of the other counties that you've got out there. If you're looking into that, the information we have in the says pertaining to your county can be used along with that strategic plan as well. So please take a look at it. Give me, like I said, 45 minutes of your time on 8/19, and we will get this on the way to the EDD and get this one going. Next up is SS4A. Matthew, would you like to give an update on it, please?
Yeah, so just a quick reminder, Safe Streets and Roads for All federal grant. Myself, project manager, Kylie Slackhammer, the MPO, federal program construction, our facilitator, have been working very closely to develop a comprehensive action plan. Let me start by saying one, if you remember last meeting, you all actually signed and adopted a Vision Zero resolution statement. If you go look on our website now, you'll actually see a new SS4A tab and also the Vision Zero resolution statement, along with steering committee minutes and several other pieces of sources of information. So just to briefly recap over this summer, what I've been really doing is sort of saying it's been hot. It's been very hot. I probably drove over 1,000 miles this summer, and I'm going to until about the end of September as well. We've got about another month left, month and a half, I'd say. I've been to numerous community events, fairs, public gatherings, farmers markets, just about anything you can think of in the 4 counties. And just trying to collect survey data, just about any type of data to do with public transportation that the public will give me, turn back to their construction point. One thing you actually have in front of you is a survey with QR code, so you can scan with a smartphone. We've also created an interactive GIS tool, so you can also scan that as well. One thing I've noticed though is it just seems with the public, I don't know if there's a QR code, it's kind of a gatekeeper on the GIS tool, but we just haven't had a lot of feedback on it. So with adjusting to that as well, I've actually had Kylie create me actual GIS maps of all of the places I've been to, whether that's here in the Delaware County, so I have an actual GIS map, or even just a Google Maps printed off from their planning commission office of Dunkirk, Redkey, Marion, and the other places I've been. And actually it's proving to be very successful. People are willing to go up to the map and write on the information. So we're getting very successful information finding. One other thing we've done is, like I said, hosted our steering committee, we just had our second one. We got a ton of valuable information regarding stakeholders, which is the next phase of our grant. So after regarding to the public, we're going after utility companies, fire department, EMS, anybody who has vested stakes in the roads and transportation systems. So if any of you guys as well know anybody that actually talks to, I'd love to reach out to them coming soon, because we need to get information from them as well too. That's just about everything we've done so far this summer. That's up for it.
Just reiterating on that, please, if you have not, that survey is on our website. You can visit it, pick it up right there. It takes all of 5 minutes. This is your chance to have input in what the infrastructure and what we're looking at. On the backside of this planning grant is $2 billion that is able for infrastructure, up to 40 million on one single project. What we're going to hope to do is look for 1 to 2 projects in each of the county that are major projects that need to be done, but you might be looking farther out in 2026, 27, maybe 28. If those projects exist, we can go after that funding and be awarded that. It is 80-20. That saves you a lot of money that you can direct in a whole other direction on other streets and roads or other projects that you may need to. So we will be done at the end of the year. We will be done in time to get the application in for whatever is identified in each of the 4 regions to get it into Department of Transportation to try and cross your fingers to get funded for that 80-20 grant or whatever those projects turn out to be. So please take the time to fill out the survey and send it in. That information is valuable. It is anonymous. You can put it just on there. What you see, it is what the public feels, not just the elected official. Okay. Thomas, CCMG update, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a very brief update over what's happened to CCMG. So there's been a lot of changes. So if you want to know more in detail about what's happened, just reach out. Else click after us. This is fun. So feel free to reach out. But they have finally announced their goal for 2026. It begins at 8 a.m. on October 1st and will close on October 31st at 5 p.m. Some of the changes, there was a bill passed, the HCA 1461 bill that led to CCMG changes. One of those being reduce the local match requirement for populations of 10,000 or less to 20% instead of previous 25%. Reduce the annual cap from $1.5 million to a $1 million cap now. There will be a new direct distribution formula that will be implemented fiscal year of 2027, so October 26. This is a formula that calculates how much non-competitive funds the town can obtain if they have a wheel tax and up-to-date asset in place. Another thing that's passed the bill was the local option highway user tax. With this, there was no wheel tax that was implemented. And that can actually be used as the town's ceasing issue match. And an excise tax, which depends on the vehicle class. And that is also applied to municipality as well. That's basically a brief overview of what has changed with the system. There's a lot to it. So,
and I would also reiterate, if you have any questions or concerns, the clerks, your street guys, reach out to us. We've got direct lines to NDOT. We'd be more than happy to take those conversations there and get you an answer. We don't have all of them. We're learning. This is really a new program with a lot of changes, similar to the old program, but put a lot of twist into it. We all know we're not going to have as much funding. What we have 200 million, 250 million is what, so there's going to be less reward. What we're used to in the past is not going to be the future. Okay, it is not. That they've made that perfectly clear. They're not putting the money in there to state them to back that up. So it's important to have the asset management plans, the 5-year maintenance plans done, LTAP approved, so that you've only got one call a year now. So it's going to be important for the towns to think it out, figure out what they want to do as far as paving, sidewalks, curbs and gutters. We can help with that, but we got one shot at it now. We don't have two, and we have to be still have to be qualified, which means everything done by 12/1 of the year before. So by 12/1 of 25, the asset management plan, LTAP approved, all has to be done. So you're eligible in 2026. Yes, sir.
If you guys don't know this, that December 1st, is the Monday after Thanksgiving this year, so it should really be, think about this before Thanksgiving.
Or you will run out of time. Okay, moving on, brownfields, just an update on this stout battery. One of the sites here in Muncie have been working with Gretchen, she's been in the city on this, it is moving along. We have had plenty of work out there, this is a racker site that is set dormant. We're gonna have to do a lot of cleanup, soil removal, membrane, clay been brought in. Everything is moving along fine. EPA came out and did some more borings in some areas. They found some other stuff. They are rewriting the program going forward, but we were sure both in email and at the Brownfields conference that this project is moving forward. It's a racker site. It is being no money out of any county, out of this organization. This will all be taken care of 100% by circular money. This is another form of brownfield money that the state gives, and it's never been done like this before. We're one of the first to try it, but they're gonna move that money over there so we can get this site cleaned up and get it done. Again, working with the city engineer Adam Leach is involved. We've had great meetings, Lori Bellinger at IFA, and Andrea Robinson at IDM. Everybody is on the project, Gretchen Chiefman. So this one is going to move forward, and this is going to me is going to be one of the biggest wins we've had. I mean, this is taking a property that's been over 10 years, I know, sitting there, and we know there's a contaminant. But we clean it up. It will be where we can redevelop this property. Keep that business. By the time we get done, all indications at this time, we will be able to build a business on this property. So that's moving something that was an eyesore, not collecting anything, any revenue for the city. Now will be producing and be a vital business for somebody. Okay. Then last on the list is the broadband update. Autumn, as you know, Autumn Marshall has been our broadband fellow for the last 3 years. ECI has funded the fellow for those 3 years, and it costs between $16,000 and $33,000 a year to fund. I did not sign up PCI for the next year. We have a lot of information. As you can see now, some of you that's been with us for a while, I've got a lot more younger individuals sitting around the table that now are willing to pick up that slack. We have cross-trained in several areas. So we're going to try and take what Autumn has laid out over the last 2 years, along with the other one, the first year, and we are going to try to take this program forward and continue to work in the broadband area. We all know that this is the way to connect everybody. You know, agriculture is going to be a big factor in this moving forward, using all from fiber to wireless, everything. It's not just in Delaware, but a lot more in Blackford and Jay than anywhere as far as that it has people at that last leg who can't get it. They're still driving in town or to a library or to McDonald's to get internet, or only 1 or 2 of them can be on whatever they're doing, wherever they're at, because they don't have the upload download speed. So we are going to continue this project. We kind of got taken out of our hands, and that is now just in the sole provider of the providers of the state. They've kind of taken us out of the equation. We were doing a lot of work on the ground on that and doing the tests. They've taken that away from us, and now solely the state is dealing with just the providers and not with us. That's not to say it doesn't change. Next level 4, we were there and we were at a seat at the table, but that funding went away until new funding above BEAD comes in. We're kind of sitting on the sidelines and a willing participant if they ask us, but we are a willing, just a participant. We're not running the program. We won't be applying the grants they would. I see you going over there. You got something? Huh? Okay. That's about all I have on that. It's roundtable discussion. Does anybody have any questions, concern, or anything they would like to bring up on the board? See shaking heads on the screen.
For the 19th, what time did you say it would be?
The 19th will be at 1:30 p.m. It can be virtual. You don't have to attend. You're more than welcome to attend. This was, like I said, will be, and I know it's right back behind, but we had to give the 30-day period. And then there had to be time to complete the appendix to put it in before we bring it in. And then put it out to you so you can see it before the 1:30
I
meeting.
started it and Jake.
Okay. Is there any other questions or concerns today?
Where was this that battery site?
It is at 3005 West 8th Street.
So the Chevy plant?
It's not the Chevy plant, it's behind the, trailer, trailer park.
Forest Park?
No. Yes. You know, I don't know the deal with the name. Any other questions? Seeing none.
Your turn.
So moved. Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Thank you all for attending. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,